And we are live.
Hello.
Another Diving Deep series with Abby the Witch. And I do have the link in the description and her link in the comments. So those watching this back, please go show her some love.
Yay.
And thank you so much for being here and doing this with me today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes before we start. Give people a bit of time.
Okay.
Excuse me, to jump in.
I don't even think I'm going to look and see how many people are watching. I'm just going to. I tried to get my regular camera set up as a webcam and I couldn't figure it out. So I just used my laptop.
It's coming in great.
Good. It does look good on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mine's glitchy because of my altar in front of my green screen, but you know what?
It looks good. I like it. I love your backgrounds.
Thank you. They'll just have to deal with it. Well, all right. So I guess we could get started because won't wait forever, but I know people will be watching this back. So the first question is, what is your YouTube channel, and do you have any other websites or platforms? I know you mentioned Instagram, but...
Yes, I do have an Instagram, Abby the Witch, just like here on YouTube. I am currently, I say I, but my husband, the more tech savvy one, is currently working on my website so I can do private readings for people and other things. But yeah, I'll have a website soon, just not quite yet. So
awesome. Yeah, my fiance does all my tech stuff. I
know. It frustrates me so much. I finally got editing down, but anything else, I'm like, ugh.
Same. Number 2. So your zodiac, sun, moon, and rising.
My sun is technically an Aries, but I identify more as being a cuspy Aries Taurus because I am so close to that line. My rising is a Virgo and my moon is a Leo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiery.
Lots of fire, girl. I got red hair, fire.
I guessed right then. Maybe, I don't know if it was the beautiful hair or just, your man. I'm like, she's fiery. I like her.
I am.
Number 3, can you tell us what got you into the occult or what you are practicing currently?
Yes. So I've always been, even ever since I was a little kid, I've always been a pretty spiritual person. I was, however, raised in the Lutheran church. And as I started getting older, I started realizing how much, for me personally, this is just me personally, how much it just wasn't serving me really at all. And if anything, it was instilling fear in me. So I left that a long time ago. And wanted to do something a little bit more alternative, something that suited me better. I explored lots of different religions, and I just decided that witchcraft and pulling from Wicca was more for me, and it served me a lot better. So that's why I joined it for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I hear that a lot. And, I was brought up in a Christian surrounding as well. So I get that completely. But that is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of different witches and spiritual workers too, that they almost have religious trauma.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely something a lot of us have in common.
I agree. Number 4, may I see your arm tattoos?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I had to ask, guys. I seen it on her videos. And I was like, please.
Let me get my sweatshirt up. Here we go. And this was my first one, the bird.
Oh, how beautiful.
Thank you. I have my skull. And then I have my underarm. I don't shave, sorry. But I have my underarm done. Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
It's backwards. I can't. I just got that little guy done not too long ago, my little bat. But yeah.
Thank you for showing me. I
Yeah.
love that piece. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
Do you believe in aliens, and have you ever had any experiences?
I thought this was such an interesting question, and I do absolutely 100% believe in aliens. However, I've never had any firsthand experiences, and I was dying to know if you have, if you don't mind me asking.
Yes, actually. And my friend here, Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension, and hi, honey. Thank you for
Hi.
coming. Hi, Irish Gang, and hello, House Spine.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, so aliens, like I was always open to it. But I never really like considered it
Okay.
until like I met my friend Rochelle over at Amethyst Ascension, and she, very much all her life had like, certain experiences and just knew more about it.
Okay.
And when I started hanging out with her, I started realizing all these things. And what's interesting is last year was my first experience, and my sons started experiencing abductions.
Really?
Yes, but he described them as they were very playful with him. They were very nice, and he remembers bright lights and like floating out of his bed.
Oh my God.
And he said that they would make funny faces at him in his room, and he would laugh. He said their eyes
Wow.
would, instead of blinking like we do, they blink with it coming sideways.
Sideways? Wow.
And he said he would just laugh. So yeah, my first experience last year was I woke up in like this bright room, and I've had uterine issues lately, like the past couple of years. And there were these grays, or what people would like call the grays.
Mhm.
And I could hear them. They were communicating telepathically, and they were doing something with my uterus. And they were like saying how my uterus wouldn't be able to continue being like useful to them. And what
Wow.
they saw me awake, and I passed right back out. It's like the moment they noticed I was like alert, I
Uh-huh.
blacked out again and woke up in my bed. And all the next day, my uterus, like I was doubled over. And then I had astral experiences to the inner earth
That
beings.
is crazy. Sorry. Keep going.
No, that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. So we've all been kind of having these like experiences that are new and we're playing with, and really made me question things, even spirits I'm working with. Like, are you higher dimensional beings? Like
Mhm.
just a different race. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're trying to work through that now, like our experiences, and just share them with each other, and
Yeah.
see if other people, are experiencing it or open to the possibility of
Uh-huh.
other life.
That is very cool. Very scary? Is it scary for you? I'm sure it
Um,
is, right?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Recent events, yes. Like I've been dreaming about alien hybrid babies that are mine, but they're not
Wow.
with me. And so, yeah, that's something new that I'm like trying to process and like, well, why? And I feel it's because I possibly made a contract before I incarnated in this life. And
Okay. That would make sense.
yeah,
Interesting. So has it been all of your sons, all four of them, or is it just one of them or
the main one, and what's interesting is like I feel very closely aligned with like Pleiades and like our Nordic backgrounds and other things. I'm like in our family and ancestry.
Mhm.
My son, the one that has the most experiences, he was born with white hair and like big, like silver blue eyes. And
Mhm.
he has like the most experiences. And
Huh.
um, I just found that interesting because I'm like, we didn't have blonde hair, me
Right.
nor his father.
Right.
The blue eyes, yes, it runs in my family, but we have like red hair or dark hair
Mhm.
from both sides. And I was like, wow, his hair was pure white, like pure white, no
Wow.
yellow. So
Wow.
it's interesting.
That is super interesting. That's crazy.
All right, guys, let's see. Yeah, she said, I definitely believe in aliens. Hi, Witch of the Meadows. Welcome.
Hi.
Yes, welcome. Hi. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, she's saying hi. Would you consider intraterrestrials in your testimonies as well? Like, would that be like the inner Earth? Sorry, I'm not familiar.
Extraterrestrials, I think, are like basically aliens,
Oh,
right? I think so.
I
Yeah.
think
It's a fancy word for alien.
Rochelle knows what it means. I feel like I'm missing something, which happens all the time, guys. You know me.
Me too.
Would you consider the fantastic demon surgeon Ufar in these experiments? Maybe. I would consider almost anything is possible.
Open to anything.
Hellspine says hello.
Hi.
Rochelle is interested. Do you know your blood type? That's something else we're kind of like trying.
Yeah, that's another question you're going to ask me, but I don't know my blood type, and it's so interesting that you guys are wanting to know that because I've been wanting to know my blood type for a while, but I just haven't. I guess I could just ask my doctor, right? Like to.
You could, yeah.
I
think they have little kits too, like on Amazon. That'll tell you.
Okay.
But hi.
Hello.
Oh yeah, she said she thinks it would be Inner Earth. Yes,
Okay.
those are the Nordic race ones that I've come into contact with. And the woman called herself the Ka group in the Inner Earth when I went there.
Wow.
They were very pale, white hair, very tall, but it was like so much of a loving vibration down there. I could hardly handle it. Like it was that much like love.
Wow.
I wanted to wither and cry.
Yeah. Something us humans maybe can't handle.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, have you had any experiences with the paranormal?
I have. And I actually, my first paranormal experiences were actually in this current house that I moved into. We've been in this house for almost 2 years now. And I can talk to you about my experiences if you want to. There's a few of them. I don't know if you want me to go into detail or.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So
Juicy stuff.
So none of the spirits were ever bad or anything like that. They weren't like malicious or anything like that. Never like hurt me or threw anything at me or my husband or anything like that. But the first time I was at home, we had only been in the house for like a couple months at this point. And the first instance was when I was home from work and it was in the middle of the day. And I was just watching TV in my bedroom. And right next to our bedroom is my husband's office. And so, you know, we have fairly thin walls. Like I can hear people talking in the next room and stuff like that. And I was home alone and I heard two voices, a man and a woman, speaking to each other. And they were very muffled and very like, but it was clearly like kind of like a heavy discussion. Like they were like the way they were talking to each other. And I was like, what the heck? So I thought that, oh, my husband left a YouTube video up on his computer and sometimes he just doesn't turn it off, you know? Mm-hmm. So I went to his office door. His office door was closed. And I swear to Goddess, as soon as I touched that door handle, the voices immediately stopped. Wow. And I opened the door and all of his computers were off. And I swear, you guys, the voices were coming from that room. They were not coming from outside. They were coming from that room. And it was just so weird. It was like immediately as I touched that door handle, it stopped.
Wow. Yeah.
It was freaky. It was a little creepy. I was like, okay, maybe I'm just hearing things, right? But then one of the scariest times and then, you know, there's been little things, but one of the scariest times that I can remember when we first moved in, I was, again, home alone. I don't know why they keep bugging me and not my husband, but they kept bugging me. And I was home alone and it was at night and my husband left to go get some food. And I was sitting in my living room watching TV, and in our kitchen and living room is right next to each other. And we have like a little, like in the wall, we have like a little like window cutout.
Okay.
And out of my peripheral, I could see like, it looked like my husband walked past that window cutout. And then I turned and I saw it walk down the hallway and just kind of like vanish into the dark hallway. And I was like, babe, like I thought my husband was home. So I got up and I walked down to his office. He wasn't in his office. And I looked in the garage and our car was still gone. Like there was no one home. And I swear I saw this shadow figure walk past our window cutout and disappear into our hallway.
Wow.
And, I was like, okay, this is when I know, like, I know this is real. Like I know what I saw. Right.
Right.
And just like little things like, our Google Home device will go off all the time on its own, and lights will turn on and off, and our ice maker has gone off. Like someone pushes down on the button and ice sprays all over the kitchen floor. Just little things like that. But
like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, they just wanted to let us know that, dude, you're not alone, right? But as soon as I did, not on purpose to even get rid of the spirits, but as soon as I did a ritual outside, and I can talk more about that ritual later if you want me to, but
Okay.
I did a ritual outside, and ever since then, I haven't had any activity. It's really weird.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. I'm so sorry, guys, for just a moment, but could one of my moderators, I'm having trouble blocking Hussam. Sorry, but
Uh-oh.
just ignore those comments.
Okay.
I don't go into your church and preach to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, honey.
No worries.
So I like how you talked about on your channel too, your way of like using your deities or honoring them.
Mhm.
It's a bit different than typically most people, and I thought that was interesting. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. So I am still kind of figuring that out. I've mentioned before in one of my videos that I like the idea of like the Wiccan goddess, God and the goddess. However, I feel like everyone kind of pictures her differently in their mind. And I haven't really figured out like what she represents to me, or like,
Right.
I'm kind of figuring that out for myself. I definitely do more calling on animal spirits. Those are more my deities. I give offerings to the animal spirits. I call on them. They guide me and help enhance my magic. So that's definitely more what I work with, and my own animals as well. I consider them my imps and familiars. So that's definitely more what I work with.
And I love that. I never hear too much about like people working with animal spirits. And I think that's really interesting and fascinating. And even though you haven't quite figured what that energy means to you yet, like you're on that track and you will figure it out. But that's how I usually identify, like if something comes in by that energy I feel. So that's perfect. It's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No probs. And the next one, longest ritual you've ever done, or you could even talk about the ritual you mentioned earlier. Whichever.
Well, the ritual I did was, okay, so the ritual I did that made all of the spiritual or the spirit ghost activity in my house stop was one where I used a house key. I can't remember exactly what the ritual was. I would have to look back at my Book of Shadows, but I did a ritual outside where I buried a house key and I invited benevolent energies of the universe and benevolent animal spirits into my home. And I think that at the same time kind of kicked out any negative energy. Not that any of the ghosts were, like I said, super negative, I don't think, but there clearly was something, because
right.
I mean, it stopped. So I just found that very coincidental. And I feel like there's definitely some relation there for sure. But I would say the longest ritual I've ever done was my hibernation ritual, where there are certain animals that truly hibernate through the winter, and I don't call on them or ask them for guidance during the winter. I let them rest. So I do a
Awesome.
hibernation ritual, putting those symbols, tarot cards, whatever. I put all those away, and I don't call on them through the winter months. So that was probably my longest ritual.
Thank you. That is interesting. And using a key for that purpose, that is like, that's genius.
Thank you very much. I can't take the credit for it. I got that from another witch, but kind of made it into my own, as all of us
Right.
witches do, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
And Hellspine agrees.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. Sorry, my comments must be lagging. So I think that's what's going on here. But I appreciate it, moderators. All right. What forms of witchy tools do you find that you use most?
I'm definitely, well, I use candles a lot for my candle gazing. I use lots of smudge sticks, crystals and oils, and I use lots of little figurines. I put those on my altar, but I think I definitely use candles the most, is probably what I use the most.
Awesome. And kinds of divination you use the most?
Tarot reading is probably the one I use the most. I have been getting more into eyelid scrying though too, which has been really cool.
Could you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, of course. So scrying is, you know what scrying, do you know what scrying is? Or
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So eyelid scrying is simply like, I usually do it after my candle gazing, and it's literally simply just closing your eyes and reading the backs of your eyelids and seeing what messages you can get through those images that you see. So it's been really cool. You should try it.
I do all the time. That's the thing. Someone will bring something up and I'm like, oh, I do that a lot. I didn't know that like it was a thing.
Same girl. I know. I didn't even know that was a form of scrying. I've been doing it for a long time and I didn't even know. So.
Sometimes, like if I have an intention to glimpse or see something too, I'll paint the top of my eyelids like black and then remove little like retinas in the makeup. And when I shut my eyes, I hold the intent that it gives me the ability to see through like the mind realms more.
Cool. I like that.
That's awesome. See the cool stuff we learn here? Like I'm learning. I love it. Alrighty. You mentioned practicing Trataka.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Which is a huge thing for me as well. Again, I didn't know it had like a name until I came across your channel, which
cool.
I thought that was interesting as well. So what are some benefits for you while candle gazing? Like, do you just feel that more intimately or?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely helps me with it helps with a lot of things. It helps me with manifesting. Like lots of times while I'm candle gazing, when I'm nervous, I talk too fast. I'm sorry. Lots of times when I'm candle gazing, I'll repeat things to myself that I want to manifest. And it really helps instill that in my brain. Like I am confident. I do have this. I do, that will really help it become true in my brain. Definitely is also helping me open my third eye as well. It's interesting because there's been a few times where I've been candle gazing and then I'll do my eyelid scrying and I can actually see like me like outlined and I can see like my third eye like blinking. It's happened a couple of times. It's really crazy. It sounds weird, but I swear it's
I get that. No, I've had that experience. I do understand. Yeah. And maybe because you have so much fire too, like your sun and moon are like very much in that fire energy. So it makes sense that you would have like that intimate connection with the flame. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about a successful spell that you had cast?
I actually Yes, I did a really interesting. So I don't. Whatever. I'll just say it. I did a counter spell that was very successful. I swear, someone
Nice.
texted me and made me very obsessive over something that I was like self-conscious about, and made me obsess over it. Like I
Mhm.
could not stop thinking about it. And I was like, I think this dude hexed me. So I did a counter spell on him, and immediately after I was done with it, my thoughts, I
Wow.
would, yeah. So
Yeah.
I believe in my heart and brain that was definitely successful for sure.
Awesome. I love that too, because it's like joke's on you, back at
Yeah,
you.
no kidding. All back to you, man.
Any scary experiences that you've had so far on your journey in life or your practice, or something that kind of like changed you and made you become who you are now?
Definitely a couple of things that aren't very witchy related, but I feel like one of the biggest things was finding a lump in my breast. I had a breast cancer scare not too long ago. I'm still fairly young, but it was still very scary. The doctors did not know
Mhm.
what it was. So that was scary, making me appreciate my life more. um, and I also had, this is interesting. I used to live up in Alaska, and they have very prevalent earthquakes up there, especially in the Anchorage area. And I was in a 7 point, I think it was a 7.5 earthquake.
Wow.
And at the time, I was actually in a hotel, like up on like I think the 16th floor. So the whole building was going like this during the earthquake, and it was like in the middle of the night, and I was like, I thought I was going to die. Like the building felt like it was falling over. It was very, very, very
Wow.
scary. It was very scary. So yeah, that just kind of made me like,
I got chills. Woo, girl.
it was so scary. Yeah. So ever since then, I've kind of been like terrified of earthquakes.
I don't blame you. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine.
It
Like, wow.
was scary. But it's a good story to tell, I guess, at least.
It
There's
it
that.
is. I'm like, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Wow, I couldn't imagine, because earthquakes are something that definitely terrify me. Them
Yeah.
and tornadoes. I've lived through tornadoes, several of
Have
them,
you?
but an earthquake, especially in a tall building, oh,
Yeah, it was just happened to be that night when I was up on one of the highest floors in a hotel. Like it was so scary.
I probably would have peed. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
No,
lie.
I was freaking out. I was panicking. I was like, I
Aw.
remember sitting up in my bed and literally saying to myself out loud, "Am I gonna die? Like, is this
Oh,
it?" It was crazy. It was really intense.
man. That, like, I don't know. I would either panic or probably just be like, I have power, and pretend it was me. Just kidding. All right. So, do you play any instruments, or do you have any hobbies you want to share?
I used to play the drums and the guitar. Kind of retired from that a little bit, but I still sing. I love to sing. That's one of my passions. And I actually have a SoundCloud account, but it's very old. I haven't posted anything new in a very long time. And I love creative writing too.
Awesome. Yeah, I love writing myself.
Do you too? Cool.
I'm sorry if you got kicked, Hellspine. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I'm just gonna catch up quick.
Oh no.
Candles, yeah, they're always useful. I think all of us probably use candles the
Oh
most.
yeah, for sure.
Use Black Mirror for necromancy, with or without demons.
Oh,
Yeah, I do. And with both.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the comments too. Oh, you guys are so nice.
Yeah. Well. Alrighty. Let me find where I am. Oh. Yeah, so writing. Do you plan like to maybe write a book or poetry later or something? Maybe?
Um,
Or is it something you just kind of privately
I
enjoy
don't
doing?
know. I've thought about maybe trying to publish some things, but I'm sorry, I have dogs that are barking at strangers right now.
It's okay.
I've thought about maybe trying to publish something, but I kind of just do it for a hobby. I've been writing poetry since I was like in the sixth grade. So I've always loved writing. That's always been a passion of mine for sure. What about you?
Same. I just published my first book on Amazon, actually.
Really?
I channeled it. I started it out as like a romance, kind of supernatural. And then it's like all hell broke loose. And what I originally planned it to be turned into this whole big other thing that kind of channeled through me. And I was like, okay.
You're like, this is going this way now, huh?
Yeah. It surprised me though, because as I'm writing it, it's like I am like, wow, I didn't even know they were going that way. Huh.
Mhm.
How did you meet the animal spirits and what was it like?
How did you meet animal spirits? Do you mean like just in general? Like, how did I get into working with animal spirits, maybe? Or, well, I'll just answer it that way. That's probably what I meant.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with animals like my entire life, like literally my entire life. I've always been connected with animals in some way. I volunteered at the Indianapolis Zoo when I was a kid. Like, just I used to work with dogs. Like, they've always had a special place in my heart, right? And I've always I feel like everyone has a natural ability to do something, right? And I was born with the natural ability to work with animals. Like, they've always just,
Wow.
I don't know, suited me well. And I love them. They are a huge part of my life. I'm vegan. I cannot imagine a life without my dogs. Like, and I can't imagine doing magic without my animals. Can't imagine it. So huge for me. So
since I moved and had to leave my cat, because I'm cat crazy, I'm so close to my cat. I love animals, but cats, man. I had a cat named Sid Vicious, and cool. Since I moved, it like kind of hasn't been the same. But
sorry.
I find that interesting, though. Do you feel like maybe sometimes you sense their emotions too, or like what they're thinking?
I think I do. Yeah. And I have dreams like my sister is also very sensitive like I am. She has dreams of people who have passed away bringing messages to her. And I have had dreams about animals who have passed away. So I feel like I definitely have a bigger connection with animals than I do with people. That's just me. But
I love that. I find that fascinating. I truly do.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi, Jezebel.
Hi.
Welcome. All right. What era of time would you visit if you could?
I would go all the way back in time to meet the dinosaurs. Not even gonna lie. I would before human beings. I would go and see the dinosaurs. I probably want to be in one of those glass tube or glass balls like in Jurassic World, but I would love to go see the dinosaurs. Ever since I was a kid, like
I love them. The Velociraptors, man, they've always been my favorite. I'm like, I want one.
Yeah, they're so cool. Like dinosaurs.
Which Jurassic Park was it with the guy kind of in the zoo, like training the Velociraptors?
I think that was the first Jurassic World, like one of the ones that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be me. I'd be like, I know you can eat me, but come here, I want to hug you.
Yeah, exactly. I still love it.
All right. And you mentioned that you use, I think you just answered that. Yeah. Well, because you got asked that question, you already answered it. It was about the animals, guys. So next one, if you could be a deity, who would you choose and what would you rule over?
I think I would definitely be the ruler of like the animal world. I know that's shocking probably, but and And I don't know if I'd want to be a ruler. I'd maybe want to be more like a gatekeeper or something.
Ooh.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely would have to do something with animals for sure.
Love it.
So
Love it. And what element are you usually dominant in or feel closer to?
I know you're probably going to guess fire for obvious reasons. No, I really am. I do associate with fire a lot. But what's so interesting is I feel very, very, very drawn to water. My husband is a Pisces. My best friend is a Cancer. And I dream about water almost every night. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm very called to water for some reason. I don't know if it's because of my fiery spirit. It like cools me down. Not really sure. It's very interesting, and I'm still trying to figure that out. So
what's interesting about that is I'm like, oh, gosh, I see so much. Like I vibe with a lot of what you're saying. And I'm a water sign and dominant water, but I'm attracted to fire.
There you go. There you go. It's meant to be.
See, yep. There are no accidents in the universe.
Right. And I was about to say, I'm like, I feel like you're a water sign for sure. So
Scorpio, sun and moon.
There you go. Oh
and Mercury.
Wow. That's crazy. There you go. I'm always attracted to water. It's crazy.
Yep. It gets me in trouble at times, but have you had any astral or dream walking experiences?
I have not had any dream walking experiences, no. However, I have had some like lucid dreaming. Definitely will be like awake, but trying to wake myself up, like shake myself awake, but I'm still dreaming. Like I've had experiences like that, but never have walked into any other person's dreams or anything like that. I was curious if you had though.
Oh, yes. Yes. Dream work is probably one of the biggest successful things I've done in my practice, but it took years. Like it took so much patience, and
I bet.
I still don't have dream walking down to an exact art.
Right.
But it does happen. And usually if I hold the intent, I'll end up where I want to go. But sometimes I end up wherever.
Right.
One time though, when I was practicing, I ended up in one of my friend's nightmares, and that like messed me all up. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I was
shit. That's scary.
So, but yeah, yes.
That's so cool. I might pick your brain about that sometime because I am definitely more interested in dream magic for sure.
Yeah, no problem. I always say, I mean, it looks like you've had some pretty avid, like lucid dreams there, and even possible astral. I believe a lot of people do astral, but they just maybe don't remember or aware. When it comes to dream walking, yeah.
Okay.
But I trained kind of in steps myself. But yeah, anytime we could definitely talk about that.
That'd be awesome.
Taxidermy Witch on YouTube is a gatekeeper of a pet cemetery. Interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. And then create steam. Alchemy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Relax and steam for the dragon to reside. Yes. He breathes it.
Yeah.
Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, and she's saying hi. All right. So, do you dream a lot? Like, do you have vivid? I asked this question because I just found out the other day, like Amethyst Ascension and I, we always talk about our dreams and how vivid and crazy they are. I just found out like last week that not everyone really dreams, and I thought everybody did. And
really?
Yeah, apparently new studies are saying not many people do. It's like a percentage, and I'm like, really interesting. So
that sucks.
Yeah.
Dreams for me are exciting. Makes my sleep more interesting, that's for sure.
Right.
I dream all the time. I dream like every night, vividly, like, and like I said, it's always about water, always. Like
Wow.
sometimes it's the ocean, sometimes it's like I'm like swimming with whales, sometimes it's like a swamp, sometimes it's I'm on a giant lake with alligators. It's yeah, it's interesting.
Uh, Rochelle and I've dreamt of crocodiles and alligators, and Rochelle
Really?
dreams about crocodiles. Yeah, she gets a lot of synchronicities. What day of the week were you born? I'm just curious.
Me? I don't know the day of the week. I was April 14th though, 1989. We'll have to look that up, but
Yeah, we will. Interesting.
huh. That is very interesting. And I've been doing a lot of research on it actually, and I'm curious to know what she would say about it because yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's like every dream. I dream about water, and in particular, lots of times it's alligators in the water.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to touch base together. Maybe we could even do a collab about our dreams and stuff
That'd
and
be
talk
cool.
about, yeah.
Yeah.
We're always, looking and loving to meet others.
Yeah. Down.
So what is your overall goal or vision for your channel?
Overall goal is to just help as many people spiritually as I can and also learn from as many people as I can, right? Like I like the balance of being a teacher and a learner. So
I
that's my
agree.
goal is to help as many people as I can, but also learn as much as I can too. So for sure.
Love that. I love that, And do you know anything? Oh, that was about your blood type or ancestry.
Know a lot about my ancestry. Don't know my blood type. However, I really want to find that out. But I do know a lot about my ancestry. So
Yeah, I think it might help. That would be interesting because
yeah.
we're studying, especially Rochelle right now, like about different blood types and associations to like
Okay.
different things. So we're asking people like, "What's your blood type?" It's a rabbit hole, one of many we go down. How many tarot decks do you have?
I have 5 tarot decks and 1 oracle deck, but I want to get more oracle decks for sure.
Yeah,
So my collection is ever growing.
same.
How many do you have? Do you have a lot?
My friend Rochelle gifted me more, so I have more than I did. I have probably about 6-ish and
Okay,
two, 3 oracle decks.
cool.
Tarot actually came later in my practice. I didn't really worry with it much
Hmm.
until like the past couple years. Then I started working with it and like, wow, why didn't I do this before? It was more
I
like
know.
pendulums and mirrors before that for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's been a couple of things I've been like that too. I'm like, dang it, why didn't I start doing this sooner? Like,
Well, that was the last question. That went by way too quick. I had so much fun and enjoyed speaking with you.
yeah, this was awesome. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get together again, and let's see if you guys have any further questions for her. Feel free to comment them. I'll give it a few minutes because I think the chat's laggy, but
Oh, Amethyst Ascension said I was born on a Friday.
okay.
Alligators are big themes in my dreams. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Water, like I wonder, like that's telling, like that could be so many things, and it's interesting to think about like what that could mean or entail.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And Jezebel Von Tech said that she's been dreaming a lot of hidden, abandoned shopping centers. And I dream of that sometimes too. Like I'll dream of being in like a big building.
We've been dreaming that recently,
Like,
actually. Yeah.
it's like
We've
we're on
been
wavelengths or something.
Yes, we actually are trying to decipher that. Like, do we have the same like guiding self or soul tribes, and are we operating,
Yes.
and bringing it conscious?
That's so crazy.
You were born on a Friday. I think that's the same day I was born too of the week.
Huh.
I dream to dream, and I dream of dreams to dream this dream until I realize I've been dead the whole time. Maybe I should lay off the vape pen.
Same.
I know. I'm like, I can't tell you how many times at night I get like that.
Yeah.
Blood type and DNA is important. I'd seen something or read it somewhere that our DNA is still affected from 14 generations back in our lineage. So ancestor work is important. Wow.
Very cool.
Jezebel asks, what kind of oracle decks are you into?
The Oracle deck I have, where is it? It probably will not surprise you guys. I'll just show you. Is this one right here. Animal Spirit Guides.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
That's interesting. Snakes and, yep, gators over the years were always like avid in her dreams.
Interesting.
Crossroads is eyesight an abandoned clothes store in the mall of our mind.
Huh.
I wonder about that too.
Yeah, that's wild. We're all pieces of one big puzzle. Yeah. That's crazy. You know, what's interesting too is my sister had a dream about me on water too, before I even told her that I have water dreams. She's like, I had a dream that you were back on the river, and it was, yeah, it's just crazy how we're all linked like that, you know?
It is. It's uncanny sometimes, but awesome. It fascinates me.
Oh, me too. It's wild.
Well, okay.
Well, this was so cool.
It was. And thank you so much for joining me today and letting me pick your brain. And you guys, her link's in the description and in the comments. Please go show her some love. You know, let's lift her up, give her some support. Newer channel. Go forth, my beautiful darklings. All right. No problem. But thank you all for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, much love.
Bye.